Dear parents, does your son or daughter study in CBSE class 11th Commerce? Are you not getting proper tuition for him or her in this lockdown period? Then tell your son or daughter to watch this video, because in this video we will be discussing CBSE class 11th economics. At the end of this video, that is after the class, we will tell the student how he or she can join our live class and get our lecture notes with question answer set. If you are still watching this video, please call your ward, because next voice will be from our economics teacher who is a professor by profession.
Hello students, a warm welcome to everyone. In this video, we will discuss the very first chapter of your CBSE class 11 economics. This chapter has two parts. Number one, some basic concepts and definition of economics, and number two, role or importance of statistics in economics. Let me first discuss some basic concepts of economics. Number one concept, or the first concept, resources. In economics, resources are the factors or inputs used in producing goods or services. These resources are also called factors of production in economics. There are four types of resources. 1. Land. 2. Labor. 3. Capital. And 4. Entrepreneurship. Let's take an example. Consider a farmer who produces certain amount of crops. Now to produce crops, farmer needs four things. 1. Certain amount of land for farming, certain amount of agricultural laborer, certain amount of capital like seeds, fertilizer, pesticides, and machineries like tractor, harvester, etc. And his own skill of organizing the production process. This skill of organizing the production process is called entrepreneurship. Similarly, if you consider the case of an industrialist, you will find that an industrialist requires land to set up factories or offices, laborers, capital like different machineries, and his own skill of organization. Remember students, that money is not capital. Money is the means to purchase or to hire different factors of production like land, labor, and capital. And the farmer and the industrialist himself is the entrepreneur. So from these two examples, we can conclude that there are four types of resources or factors of production, namely land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Now we will discuss properties of resources. There are mainly two properties or characteristics of resources. Number one, resources are scarce or limited in nature. Let me explain these two properties one by one. I have already explained that a farmer or an industrialist needs resources to produce goods or services. But do you think that they have unlimited resources? No, they have limited resources. Even if we think in national perspective, we find that total amount of land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship in our country are limited. That's why we say that resources are limited. Now come to the second property, which is resources have alternative uses. With the help of his limited resources, a farmer can produce either paddy or wheat or a combination of different crops. Similarly, an industrialist can produce either a particular industrial product or a combination of industrial products with the help of his limited resources. That's why we say that resources have alternative uses. Now we will discuss the second important concept, that is economic agents. There are four types of economic agents. Number one, consumer. A consumer is an economic agent who buys the goods and services to satisfy his wants, starting from a child who consumes baby foods to a senior citizen. All are consumers. Number two, producer. Producer is one who produces goods and services for the generation of income. Number three, service holder. A person who is in job and gives his services as a factor of production and is getting paid for it is called service holder. For example, employee of any organization. Number 4, service provider. A person who provides services to other for a payment is called service holder. For example, an auto driver or a transporter. Now we will discuss the third important concept, that is activities. There are two types of activities, economic activities and non-economic activities. Economic activities are those activities which are related to earn money and wealth for life. These activities generate new income and increase the flow of goods and services. For example, consumption, production, etc. Now, if we explain economic activities in a simple word, we can say that economic activities can be any activities which is associated with some financial transaction. When a consumer is consuming, he is paying money to the person from whom he has bought the item of consumption. That's why consumption is an economic activity. Similarly, when a producer is producing, he is paying money to different factors of production. That is why production is also an economic activity. Now come to the concept of non-economic activity. Non-economic activities are those activities which are not related to earn money and wealth. These activities neither generate income nor increase the flow of goods and services. In a simple word, we can say that the non-economic activities are those activities which are not associated with any financial transaction. For example, when a teacher is teaching his own son or daughter, or a farmer cultivating for his own family. Students, please note that all the economic agents are gainfully employed in economic activities. If they were not gaining, they would not participate in any economic activities. For example, if a producer makes losses by producing, he would quit the production process as it is not a gainful activity for him. He would continue production till it is a gainful activity for him. Now we will discuss branches of economic studies. Broadly, there are 3 branches of economic studies: study of consumption, study of production, and study of distribution. The study of consumption explains the decision of consumer regarding consumption, given his limited income and many alternative goods to choose from. Consider an example. Suppose you have 1000 rupees in your pocket and you go to a mall. You may have desire to purchase all the things you like in the mall, but with your limited money, you cannot afford all the things you want to buy. In that case, you have to make a choice of items which you can purchase with your limited money. So we can say that the branch of economics which explains choice or decision of consumers regarding consumption given his limited money income is called study of consumption. The study of production explains how the producer chooses what and how to produce for the market. During our discussion of properties of resources, we have already discussed that a producer has different alternative options for production with limited resources. The study of production is that branch of economics which explains what options producer will choose subject to his limited resources. Now come to the study of distribution. The study of distribution explains how the total income arising from what has been produced in the country is distributed among the wages, salaries, profit, interest, and rent. In other words, we can say that the study of distribution explains how the total income of the country will be distributed among the laborer as wages or salaries, among the landholders as rent, among the capital holders as interest, and among the entrepreneur as profit. Now come to the definition of economics. Economics is a study of how people and society choose to employ scarce resources that could have alternative uses in order to produce various commodities that satisfy their wants and to distribute them for consumption among various persons and groups in the society. Or in a simple way, we can say that economics is a science that studies human behavior which aims at allocation of scarce resources in such a way that consumers can maximize their satisfaction, producers can maximize their profits, and society can maximize its social welfare. It is about making choice in the presence of scarcity. Thank you, students, for attending this audio video class. In my next class, I will be discussing the second part of the first chapter, that is importance of statistics in economics. Meanwhile, if you have any queries or any doubts, you can WhatsApp me in my WhatsApp number 99030 Thank you again.
Hello student, how was your class? Now, if you want to join live classes of our economics teacher, Professor Somabrata Som, WhatsApp your name, school, board and class to our WhatsApp number 99030390009 to get his lecture notes and question answer set. You will also be provided an FB page link where Professor Som will be taking live classes. Thank you.